Jai Jinendra and Pranam. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome everyone to our second session on artificial intelligence. Our first AI session started with Dhruv Kothari. It was very well received with an overwhelming attendance on both Zoom and the YouTube platforms. The response was beyond our expectations, and we received many wonderful comments and requests from participants asking us to organize another session for those who missed and people who would like to re-attend. That tremendous interest clearly showed us how eager our senior community and community at large is to understand artificial intelligence and, more importantly, how we can use it practically and meaningfully in our everyday lives. So, by popular demand, we are delighted to welcome Dhruv Kothari back once again. Dhruv is an incoming computer science student at the New Jersey Institute of Technology and has already gained hands-on experience in artificial intelligence and cybersecurity through internship and advanced AI projects. As a lifelong member of Jain community, he is passionate about using technology to help and serve others. During our first session, Dhruv made AI simple, practical, and easy to understand, particularly for our seniors. Today, he will take us one step further and share even more practical ways we can benefit from from this rapidly evolving AI technology. Myself, I am Bindesh Shah, and I am a Jaina Senior Committee liaison for the leadership. So now, starting this session, Dhruv, thank you for coming back and once again sharing your time, knowledge, and enthusiasm with our community. To everyone joining us today on Zoom and YouTube, thank you for being with us and for your time. Please join me giving a warm welcome to Dhruv Kothari. Thank you.
Good morning, Pranam and Jai Jinendra, everyone. Thank you, Bindish Uncle, for that warm welcome. And thank you, everyone else, for attending the first session if you were here and also being here now. So let's begin. I'll start by sharing my screen. Just a quick overview of everything that we'll cover today. For those of you who were not able to make it to the last session, the first 15 to 20 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes of today's session will go towards reviewing what we went over last time, just simple overview. So everyone is on the same page in understanding the basics of AI. And then we will move forward to going a little bit more in depth about how you can actually use AI every day and how you can have AI do a lot of work for you that used to be manual. So let's begin. All right, I hope everyone can see my screen. You guys can see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Yep. So let's begin. So this is the presentation that we went over last time. We will go through this a little bit faster than last time, but just for those of you who weren't here, just a quick recap. So what is AI, right? Artificial intelligence is a technology that has, quickly taken over a large part of our daily lives. It's it's something that has a lot of knowledge, it has access to the internet, it has access to millions and millions of books and sources all over the world. It's a tool that is always there for you. It's able to able to answer questions that you might have. It's able to automate tasks for you. Essentially, it's a tool that you will always have control over. There's a few misconceptions regarding AI that a lot of senior citizens do have. A lot of people are scared to use it because they believe that the technology is too powerful and that it's too out of control, which is not true. Artificial intelligence is something that is always under your control. It's an assistant that will only do something when you ask it to do that, and it'll also stop working when you ask it. And it's a quick way for people to, learn. It's a quick way for them to save time. And the only thing is, taking a little bit of time every now and then, maybe every day, to just learn a little bit more about the technology in the world that we live in. Last time we went over three different levels. The first level was asking about words, talking about, translating certain sentences. We created a postcard last time. We analyzed some blood reports. And by the end of it, I was able to create an app that recited the Nokar mantra. And these are all very, cool things. Level one, two, and three did progress a little by little last presentation. However, today, what we will be going over is going to be one step further than all three of these levels. We will be enabling agents. We will be enabling connectors. So tasks that you have to manually do every single day, maybe every other day, will be automated. So now, instead of you having to do them, you can, sit back and watch your agents, your AI, do the task for you. And, you can always have the overview, you can always have the control, but at the end of the day, you no longer will need to do those tasks. Just a quick recap for those of you who weren't here again. This is a list of a few artificial intelligences that are, popular. My favorite is Claude. It's one of the most powerful, I believe. It has a lot of, logical and technical thinking. I think it's best for those types of tasks. ChatGPT is the most popular. Everyone knows it was the first one to come out. Then we have Google Gemini, which is uh, obviously created by Google. So it works best with Google Docs, it works best with Gmail, any technology that's created with Google. Then we also have Microsoft Copilot, which is the same as Gemini, but for Windows users. So for Excel, PowerPoint, Word, Copilot will work best because it's integrated with those technologies. This was just a few things that artificial intelligence can help you with every day. Translating certain languages, helping you create birthday messages in WhatsApp. As Jane, I know we all have a lot of dietary restrictions, and ChatGPT, Jane GPT can also help us with that. It, has knowledge of a lot of things. So asking for Jane recipes, asking for Jane-friendly options in restaurants and places and cities that you might live in, is something that it is definitely capable of. Planning trips, if you want to know more about Jainism, learning more about the stories of, our Tirthankars, their teachings, all of that, is very capable of, knowing and explaining to you in simple terms. Then, as I mentioned last time, we went over creating mother to son postcards where we were able to prompt ChatGPT to come up with a personalized message. We were able to then make that message be shown on a postcard with a picture of a son. The picture was of me, just to show that in a matter of minutes, I was able to create a postcard with personalized flowers, messages, pictures, and it's something that can be used for a lot more than just, a happy birthday message. We were also analyzing a blood report, a sample blood report last time, to show that any confusion that you might have regarding blood reports, documents, AI is going to be there to help you decipher that. It'll be there to support you through that. And finally, what we did was we built an app, the Nokar Mantra app that I mentioned, which gave me information regarding our past Jovisi, so all 24 Tirthankars in our last Ara. It gave me their birthplace, it gave me their emblem, it gave me a little uh, fact about them. It recited the Nokar Mantra, and this was an app that I built within 5 to 10 minutes during the presentation. So these were just some of the steps that we followed through as we went through these demonstrations, which we won't go through today because we have something more planned. This presentation was shared with all of you last time. If you were not here and you would like this presentation, I think after today's, it will be available. So please reach out to Mahesh uncle or Abdul uncle, and this can be sent over for sure. The other thing that we covered last time was Jane GPT. A lot of you might know what Jane GPT is. And it's a very reliable source. It's a very helpful source. And compared to ChatGPT, JaneGPT is focused just on Jainism, right? It's focused more on our Tirthankars, our history, our Jain texts, the holidays that we have, right? A lot of people are not necessarily aware of Jainism, and like in the broad, spectrum of the internet, Jainism might not be the most prominent thing out there. So having an AI, a GPT, that is dedicated just for Jainism is very helpful, and it's also a lot more accurate. We also talked about protecting yourself from scams. Uh, Senior citizens are a very susceptible group to these phishing attacks, to these scamming attacks, and to protect yourself from that, you can always rely on artificial intelligence. You can always rely on, going to it and asking it. These AIs do have your best interest at heart. They will always be truthful with you in what they genuinely believe. They won't lie to you. So for anything in terms of confusion, in terms of I'm not sure if this is real, feel free to always use AI. Feel free to use any GPT that you're comfortable with. We also mentioned not to give personal information to AI, such as credit card numbers, bank account numbers, your government identifications, your passwords. None of that should be in the database of these big companies. Our private information should stay private. At the same time, it is okay to use these AIs. It's okay to ask for, blood reports, analyzations, obviously keeping your personal name and, identification numbers out of it. It's okay to ask for, creating messages, talking about family members, talking about things that might be going on in your life. As long as our private information stays private, interacting with these AIs is definitely safe. I think one of the most important things that I wanted the point to come across last presentation was how to have a good conversation with artificial intelligence. One of the biggest things that I see with even people my age, my parents, is that when they're talking to AI, they're not specific enough. They don't give enough detail. And because of that, they are not always satisfied with the answer that they receive, right? The message that I was trying to get across last time was when you give more detail, when you give more specificity to these LLMs, large language models, or these artificial intelligences, the better response that you will get. The better that that system can understand what you really want and what you're trying to convey, the better it will work to, solve that problem for you, answer that question for you. So instead of writing, for example, a trip to India, you can say, plan a 4-day trip to India for two seniors. We are Jain vegetarian and we want to visit temples. Obviously, one sentence is not very specific, and you can add more, such as we want to visit Sankeshwar, we want to visit Palitana, and we want to spend 2 days at each tirth. That way, this AI, for example, will understand better how to plan your trip, and it'll plan it based on what you really want. Just a quick, reference. Finally, I had everyone, for those of them who were able to get artificial intelligence up and running on their phone, I wanted them to, try um, doing it on like themselves because the only way that you guys will understand is when you do it on your own. And I think a lot of people did have good experience with that, and I was able to help whoever at the end. So let's move on to the second presentation, the advanced AI presentation. Cool. So as I just went over, level one last time, we were able to ask what words mean. We were able to translate messages. We were able to create messages. We were able to create postcards. And we were getting simple answers for the questions that we were asking. Even the automations, the website, the app that I built, it was all a very manual process. Now, today, what we're going to do is we're going to move from those manual processes to automation. We're going to move from having to work for what we want through AI to having AI work for us, right? We're going to go through how artificial intelligence can analyze your investments over time. It can understand your documents. And there's technologies such as connectors, such as agents that have come out. that's going to help us do all this. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to configure all of that, and we're going to have artificial intelligence do tasks for you. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to understand what AI agents are. We're going to understand that artificial intelligence has the capability to go out and do things, not just answer questions, not just create hard-coded websites and apps. After we understand what these agents are, we're going to go out. I'm going to build an agent in front of you guys. I'm going to test that agent, and I'm going to show you guys that with the technologies that most of us will use every day, such as Gmail, such as Google Calendar, we can connect these AI technologies to improve our lives. We also will go through real world examples of money. For example, a lot of you will, be worrying a lot, thinking a lot about your 401ks, about your Roth IRAs as you approach the age of retirement or past retirement. We're going to go through fraud, the full walkthrough with that. And then we're going to also have Claude automate a complete task with an agent, which I will do in front of you. And at the end, there's a few examples that I've left that I want all of you to try. And yeah, so let's begin. So the big shift. Artificial intelligence has gone from answering your questions to doing your tasks. It has the capability to think, it has the capability to read, it has the capability, most importantly, to understand and act, right? It answers the questions you want in plain words. It'll answer and it'll understand, it'll analyze your documents, your reports, your bills. But at the end, it will do tasks that you ask it to. It'll complete multi-step tasks on its own, and there are obviously safeguards to it. So one thing with these AIs and these agents is that nothing will happen without your permission. So for example, if I ask an agent to go and read my Gmail and find me anything that looks suspicious, before it even begins doing that, it's going to ask me explicitly for permission, and it's going to tell me what it's going to do down to the T. It's going to tell me exactly what it's going to do, the command it's going to run to do this. So going back to what I mentioned while regarding the first presentation, these AIs will always let you have control. You can always control when to stop running the artificial intelligence model, when to start running it, how much you want it to run. All of that is under your control. So what is an AI agent, right? An AI agent is almost like you yourself. However, you're not doing it, right? It's like a helper. It's like a personal assistant that can, do exactly what you ask it and finish entire tasks by itself, right? For the past few years since AI came out, more so towards the beginning, AI was more of like a like a dictionary, right? And it was also kind of like it would give you instructions and you would have to go out at the end of the day and still do it yourself, right? It was a very knowledgeable tool ever since it came out, but it was never capable of doing tasks on its own, which it is now capable of. For example, if I asked a question regarding my Gmail inbox, what should I do about my overflowing inbox? 2 years ago, artificial intelligence would have told me that you should go and look through the emails that you are receiving, which you are not interested in. You should unsubscribe to them, right? It would give me a list of other things that I can do to go delete them, to go manage them. But now, in today's day and age, what artificial intelligence can do is deploy these agents to actually go into your Gmail inbox, right? It can look at your emails, it can read your emails, and it can say, hey, this seems like a scam, this seems like it's irrelevant, this is not something that I think is important. And it can flag all these emails for you. It can delete them. If there are important emails, it can add those appointments and those, meetings to your calendar. It's a very powerful tool. It's very cool how far it's come, and we will go over that pretty soon. So there's a lot of things that artificial intelligence agents can do. It's not limited to just handling your email, planning trips, or being able to adjust your Google Calendar. But for the sake of this presentation, for the sake of you guys actually understanding what it can do, uh, today we'll be going over connecting these agents to our Gmail inbox, and you'll see that it can access it, it can see what's going on in my inbox. I'll help you guys set all that up. you'll also see that I will be able to adjust my Google Calendar and the events that I have planned in the upcoming weeks through a few sentences instead of manually having to go and, select on each day my plans. So let's start with this. All right. I'm gonna go over the steps of what this demonstration is gonna do, and then I'm gonna go and do it. So just so everyone is on the same page, everyone understands what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Claude. As I mentioned, I do prefer Claude to the other artificial intelligence technologies. When we go to Claude, we're gonna click on projects and we're gonna create a new project. So what a project is when you have a task that you want to continuously do over the course of X amount of time, right? You can create a folder, which is a project, where you can give specific instructions as to what tasks you want to automate. So by doing this, let's say I want my Gmail to be cleansed today. If I want the same task done in 2 weeks' time from now, I don't need to go back and reprompt. I don't need to go back, start a new chat, and ask everything from scratch again. Because by creating this project, my information, my data will be stored in that specific folder, and I will be able to run that task as many times as I want in the future. Inside of this project, what we're going to do is we're going to give custom instructions. As I said, by giving custom instructions, I won't need to reprompt every time I want to go back and redo it. Once we add those custom instructions, no matter what document I upload, for example, if I want my 401k statement analyzed, or I want my bank statement analyzed at the end of every month, right? My instructions can remain the same throughout all the upcoming months. But if every month I upload a different document or a different statement, that document will be analyzed, it will be explained like specific to that document for that month, right? I hope that makes sense. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat. I will try my best to answer them. And finally, what we're going to do is we're going to turn on connectors. So connectors is a technology that allows Claude and AIs like Claude to go out into your Gmail, to go out into your Google Drive and complete actions and complete jobs for you, right? As I mentioned, you guys will see how this AI is able to go into my Gmail, go into my calendar. And so let's go out, let's test that. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to go to home. So we're going to go to Claude Desktop. This is my Claude Desktop, and this is my uh, online, this is the website form. So here, everyone can see that I've created a project around 12 hours ago that says Money Watch, right? So what I did was I came to projects, I clicked new project, I was able to name that project, right? Now, when I go into this project, you guys might see on this right-hand side here that I have instructions, right? And these are the specific instructions that I left. So later on into our presentation, what we're going to do is we're going to paste in statements. We're going to give it a bill. And these are very simple instructions. You can obviously make this a lot more complex and tailor it to your specific task. But the instructions that I left were every time I paste in a bill or a statement, tell me the total, flag any fee over $20, and warn me if anything looks like a scam. I know most probably 99% of you here have had months where your credit card statement has come back and there's been a charge that you didn't recognize. I know it's happened to me. And having technology like this is very helpful in figuring that out. If you are someone, for example, who does not spend over $20 on a single purchase, right? And you come here and upload your bill or your statement and you see that there's a purchase charge for over $75, right? Now, by just uploading this, instead of having to manually sit there and read through an entire month's of bills and statements, your thing will be flagged because this agent knows that if there's any fee over $20 to send an alert to me, right? So we'll come back to this later. For now, what I wanted to show you guys was if I go to a new chat and I click this plus button right here, you guys, let's actually go to this one, right? Let's click this plus, right? And there should be an option that says add connector. right? When we click add connector, I am brought to this page, right? As you can see here, I have Google Drive, I have Gmail, I have Google Calendar, I have Zoom for Claude, Slack. I have a lot of, you know, technologies that people use in their day-to-day life, and I'm able to now connect it with Claude. So if we were to go back here to these connectors, you will see that I have Gmail connected, I have Google Calendar, I have Google Drive, and I have Robinhood connected. Now, what I can do, because I have these connectors, is I can ask it to read my email. I can ask it to go out and adjust things in my calendar. So, for example, I can say, please read any unread email in my inbox in the past 12 hours. And just for connecting, so as I mentioned, the connectors, right? It's a little confusing. So I will help you guys go through that real quick. When you go to add connector, um, on this, let's see. Cool. So when I go to connect my Gmail account, it's going to prompt me to, connect an actual account. It'll ask me for a few verifications. It'll tell me to make sure that I trust Claude, trust whatever artificial intelligence I'm using. And just like that, I've connected my Gmail. Now I can go back and I can check. So the first time I clicked here, just almost 30 seconds ago, Gmail wasn't an option with a blue check. Now I can go and manage these connectors. And as you can see, I just connected to my Gmail, and it's honestly that simple. So going back to what I asked, right? In the past 24 hours, I've had mostly promotions and newsletters, and I've had a few things that I feel like are worth the choice. Some of my trades that I took on Friday, right, which was yesterday, as the market was open yesterday, a few of my confirmations came in through Robinhood, right? As an incoming computer science student, I'm applying for a lot of internships. Uh, I got an email regarding JobRight AI. I got a few from LinkedIn. And if we want to go and verify this, right, I can. I can go to my Gmail and I can see that, hey, my Robinhood trade confirmations are available. I have intern roles from JobRight alerts, from LinkedIn, right? And so this just goes to show that these technologies have advanced so much to the point where in one sentence, right, I'm able to go and get tasks done like this. Now, for the purpose of this presentation, I just want to show you guys that you can connect to your Gmail. I don't know what personalized tasks you guys all might need from your Gmail or from your Google Calendar, but like the limit is like unprecedented, right? You whatever tasks that you need done, like ask these AIs to do it for you, and they will be able to. For example, I'll give another demonstration regarding Google Calendar. So I'll say for every day next week from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., add pickleball to my calendar, right? And I'm gonna say to my Google Calendar. As I mentioned, giving more specificity always helps. Let's hide this. And we're going to send that through. On this account, I do have Google Calendar, Gmail, Robinhood, all of that, set up. And as I mentioned before, when it goes to create things in your personalized technologies, such as Google Calendar, Google Docs, anything, it will always ask for permission, right? Claude wants to creates a calendar event from Google Calendar. So this is the technology that it's using. Until I don't click one of these options, nothing will happen. If I click deny, then my request will fail. If I click always allow, then in the future, when I ask, this prompt won't be shown up anymore. As you guys can see, when I asked for please read any of my emails, I was not given this prompt because last night when I was setting this up, I clicked always allow. In this case, if I click always once, my task will go through. And within genuinely 2 seconds, I will have pickleball now on my calendar every day from Monday, August 24th through Sunday, August 30th. Once again, we can go and verify that. It's not the right one. There we go. Cool. So as we can see, this is this week. If I click to next week, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. every single day, from Monday through Saturday, I have pickleball, right? And within one sentence, I was able to do this, which would have taken me maybe 10 to 15 minutes to manually come here, add all this, adjust it. And what's cool about it is as fast as I added it is as fast as I can change it. I can customize it. So I can say remove pickleball on Wednesdays and Fridays. Let's say something came up, I want to change it. And I'm giving the example of pickleball. I'm assuming a lot of people use Google Calendar for a lot more than, sports, probably meetings, work arrangements, anything like that. Just for the sake of this presentation, so you guys do understand it has these capabilities. As I did click allow once, you guys can see that it prompted me again before making a change. And I click allow. Cool. So now pickleball has been removed on Wednesday and Friday. It's still on for the rest of the days. We go back here. It doesn't even need to refresh. On Wednesdays and Fridays, my pickleball arrangement is gone. So let's continue on with the presentation. I hope that gave you guys a little bit more insight on what AI can do. Later on in this presentation, what we will be doing is we will be going and giving statements. We will be posting a folder of a bunch of statements that some of you might have. For example, if you're a business owner, if there's something that you're trying to create, an event, whatnot, you have a lot of files and you need them organized. What you can do is upload these to the agents that we're going to build, and they will, take care of whatever task that you need. So let's move on. So as I showed you guys for the Gmail connector, right, I asked it to summarize my emails past 12 hours. It gave me a list of the main emails that I had gone through. And if I had asked it for more specificity, if I had asked it, to go more in depth, explain the emails, it obviously could have done that. But for the sake of our presentation, just today, because I want to be able to answer more questions that people might have at the end to, clear any confusion, for the sake of time, we just stuck to showing that it works and, use your imagination. Whatever ideas that you have, whatever things and tasks you need done, please feel free to try them out with AI. Um, so now we're going to talk more about the financial side of it, spotting fraud, making better decisions, and artificial intelligence can help you make those decisions. Right. So let's go back here. For example, trying to make sense of a statement, you can say, hey, I'm 68, I'm retired, I'm uploading my 401k statement, and I want help understanding it. Right. Now, most of you probably understand how to do it, understand how to, understand like how to read it, analyze it, what it means. But then there's questions like, hey, like in bonds and the stocks that I'm invested in, are these safe for me at the age that I'm at? Should I move my money somewhere? Right. And if you're not someone who, is very financially active, is always, looking at how the market's doing, how, where to move your money, having technologies like AI can help you because it has knowledge of what's going on latest in the world, what's going on latest in the market, right? So, for example, questions like how much money do I have? Am I paying any fees? You guys can obviously read that on your own. You don't need AI to tell you that you have a total of $250,000 in your 401k, right? But questions like, is my money too risky for my age? Should I move it somewhere else, right? What questions should I ask my financial advisor because I don't really understand, right? Based on your personalized 401k statement or your Roth IRA statement, right? AI can help you make sense of what to do. And at the end of the day, if what it gives you as an output, what answer it gives you, if you're not comfortable with that answer, there's no harm, right? You don't have to do what AI tells you. But let's say you do like the response it gives you. Let's say AI does tell you that, hey, there's a new artificial intelligence ETF that's come out. There's new robotics ETFs that are coming out. And these are going to be set to, move a lot in the upcoming years in a positive direction, right? Because that's the way that the world is moving. If you want, you can, because now that you've talked to AI, you've asked, hey, where should I move my money? What should I do with my advisor? If you like the advice that you're given, you can take it, right? At the end of the day, no one can make you do anything, definitely not AI, but it's a nice tool to have. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Claude Desktop. Like last time, I will go over what we're going to do in building this agent, and then I will go into that. I will build the agent, the project that I showed you, and we're going to put these files into the folder. And in real time, we're going to see that it analyzes all of my files. It turns all the bills into one expense summary, and the restrictions that I've set, it will, keep them validated. Okay, so let's get out of this. All right, so you guys can see my screen. This is Claude Desktop, and here in Claude Desktop, there are two features. There's one which is a chat. If you can see all of my questions and chats here, these are regular chats. Then I have cowork. Everything up here that's scheduled, that's pinned, this is cowork. Cowork is used to recurringly automate tasks. When I have a chat down here, it's a question or a conversation that I might have once or twice. But when I am in cowork, this is a task that I will continuously keep recurring, right? If I go to Money Watch here and I go to my instructions, I've told it that every time I paste in a bill or a statement. Now, let's say I have to paste in a bill at the end of every week. Let's say I am a business owner and I have statements that come in every week. It is a lot simpler for me to upload to this continuous project over and over and over and over every single week than it is for me to go and create a new task. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click the plus. We're going to add files. And I have a folder that's saved here. Let's find it. Cool. So it's called demo files 2, right? Now within this folder, I have a lot of statements. I have electric bills. I have images. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna paste these, PDFs, all these documents in. Okay. That's 5. Let's add a few more. Cool. So as you guys can see, I've added all of these documents here, right? And usually when you add a PDF or you add an attachment to AI, there's obviously an instruction that you have to give it. However, because we've created a project with set instructions, as you guys can see here, right? There's nothing I need to even do, right? If I want to give it more detail, I can say, hey, follow the instructions, but I don't need to do that. And we'll see that. So if I hit enter, right? Um, because I'm inside this Money Watch folder and its instruction was to review these statements, I will, within probably less than 30 seconds, get all of my files read, understood, and given pretty accurate response. One other thing that I talked about in the last presentation was the models and the time that these models require, right? As if you were not here last time, you will see that I have a list of models here, and they go from very tough to, very fast and quick answers. The thing about these models is the longer that they spend thinking, the better your answer will be. As you can see, this took around 55 seconds to complete. I originally thought it would be done in 20 to 30, but because it took longer, I was given a very in-depth answer. So let's go through this, right? The first thing that I see is red flag, scams. 4 flags, most urgent, right? there's a phishing email. There's a company union trust security. You guys can see here. And the sender domain is not from Union Trust Security, right? It's asking me to submit my social security number, my date of birth, and a PIN through a link. Oftentimes, when you click a link, your private information does get stolen. And so let's go back and find this. Suspicious email sample. Okay, so this PDF that we have here, suspicious email sample. Obviously, for the sake of this presentation, it's named that. In real life, it won't be, which is why having technologies like this, where you can upload and ask, is this real? Is this not real? Is very helpful. If you guys do remember, um, in my instructions, I said mark any bill that's over $20. If we look at this credit card statement here from the Premium Rewards Club, I've been billed $89, right? This has been marked as unrecognized, and this does not look like something that I would have paid for, right? So by having this technology, by just uploading a few files, keeping a set of instructions, my agents were able to go into these files, read them, and tell me. And they will continuously do this every month, right? So it's very simple. It's very standard. And over time, like let's say you guys were the ones that had to do this, it's something that you can get used to, right? It's something that you can become comfortable with the more you do it. Knowing that, hey, at the end of every single week, I need to come here, upload my bill, and I need to make sure that it's fine. I need to check it over. What this has also done is checked the totals and fees by document in every single document, and it'll tell me that uh, in terms of my electric bill, my phone bill, my water bill, I'm paying $390.49, right? And the cool thing is, it says that, hey, I saved the summary of this review to this project, so it's there the next time that you check it, and it'll help you drafting dispute. And look, so let's say that there's a big fee or something that I don't like, right? Now what I can do, because I've used AI, is it can help me talk to my credit card company, right? I'll say draft a dispute for the card charge for the credit card charge that was from the Premium Rewards Club. Now, I don't know what the Premium Rewards Club is. For example, I've never heard of it, and I got charged $90. Cool. So now in the future, if there are ever any issues, I can always come back here. I can, always use as like a helpful tool. So let's give this a few seconds. Again, like I said, the more time that it spends creating, obviously, like not insanely long amounts of time, because then something is wrong and your AI is not working. But relatively speaking, the longer it's actively running and you can see it, the more accurate and more helpful the response will be. So in the meantime, while this is running, let's go back to our presentation, right? This is just an overview of what all of you just saw in real time. Um, we dropped in files. We didn't name anything. We didn't sort anything. We just gave spreadsheets. We gave PDFs, gave images, statements, and within a minute, it was able to, tell me everything, right? Cool. I asked for a dispute letter and I was given one. So let's download this, right? And we can go and hopefully open this. So let's see if this opens. Just so everyone can see a little bit more clearly. Okay, cool. As you guys know, I didn't give any personal information, and this is obviously all from the fake message, like the statement that I uploaded to a Claude for the sake of the presentation. Um, as you guys can see, this drafted an entire dispute transaction letter. It gives me the date, the amount, where it came from. It gives me text as to, reach out. And it asks for, hey, I want to open an investigation under this. I want, like to remove the charge that I've been charged. It's fraudulent. I don't think it's right. Right. Writing this is going to take realistically what, 10, 15 minutes. You have to manually go and add all your disputed transactions. But now, because I was having a conversation with Claude when this dispute came up, realistically, all I need to do is go and change my phone number, right? And I think this is something that can save a lot of time for a lot of people. So going back to our presentation, it took, less than a minute, told me that this month my total I was due for this much, flagged whatever. And yeah, so now talking about, fraud protection, right? These technologies are getting so much stronger in the way where they can, make people's voices that sound real, right? We all get so many phone calls on a day-to-day basis from scam callers. And sometimes we pick up, I know a lot of people have gotten in the habit of not to, but sometimes we pick up and it sounds like someone we might know, sounds like a bank representative, sounds like a boss, sounds like a friend, right? When stuff like this happens, right, it's always not the easiest to know and how to like understand it, especially at the age of senior citizens. You guys are not the most technologically, advanced generation, and that's the whole point for you guys to come here to understand and become more well versed with this technology, right? When you guys receive emails that seem legit, and every single day these emails become more and more realistic, right? Use artificial intelligence, use these chats that these technologies that they've created to come up and be like, hey, I'm confused. I need help. I don't understand if this is real or not. What should I do? And immediately it will tell you the truth, right? It'll try its best to, be honest with you. These scams, these phishing attacks, they are relatively not difficult for artificial intelligence to decipher because, like I said, it has a lot of knowledge about what's going on in the world every single day. It's constantly getting updated. And the systems are very like intellectual. They're very smart. They're very like logical in the way that they think. And there's obviously not a lot of emotion, right? So when receiving messages or emails, for example, that might seem heartfelt, right? AI will look past that and it'll look at, hey, like, is this something that people would send out? Is this something that has good intention behind it? And it has a lot of technologies itself, the AIs, that will decipher. There's certain like things that you and I can't see with the naked eye that a computer will understand, right? In computer language, there's watermarks on a lot of these emails. There's watermarks on a lot of these messages that AI can access because it's a computer. It's a computer system that you and I, for example, cannot. Right. So please, 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 use these technologies to keep yourself safe. Um, and yeah, so this is something that I had already set up together. I mean, I had already set up beforehand, but this is something that if any of you do have Claude open on your computer, um, you can, do this right now. One thing I will tell you guys about the Claude desktop, that you guys see, where is it? Claude desktop, right? What you guys see here, this user interface where I am able to, access Claude Code, I'm able to create all this is available on the computer. Um, I'm not 100% sure that it is on the phone. It might be on the website on a computer, but the way that I've been working here for these recurring tasks, as you guys can see, I have a few scheduled tasks on my left side. I have a project that I created. All of this is a lot more accessible through the computer. So if you're here today, right now, and you are on your computer, or if you have a computer next to you, um, please feel free to, set this project up. Um, the instructions again were if you are in Claude desktop, is click on project, click new project. You can name it anything you want. And when you create this, you will have a section that says instructions, that says memory. And there's also a thing in here that's scheduled, right? So that's something that we haven't covered yet. As you guys can see here, I have a few tasks that are scheduled. So for example, if we go look through this, right, I ran out of credits, not enough. I'm someone that likes investing, stock market stuff a lot. So what I've created was, every morning at around 8:30, I want the S&P 500's ETF SPY to be scanned, and I want to take options on it. So I want to know the option flow in the morning. I want to know how the volume is moving. Every morning at 8:30, it'll scan this for me. Obviously, you guys can see I ran out of credits here. That's something I'm gonna have to work on. Um, but yeah, so in whatever projects that you've created, you can schedule recurring tasks. You can say, every time that you ask to do something, I want a manual approval, which means every time Claude, for example, goes to run a task, it'll tell you before it runs it and it'll ask for your permission. Then there's certain things where if Claude deems it's safe based on its, like guardrails, it will automatically approve it. But then there's certain things that even if Claude deems is unsafe, okay, and Claude wants to get your approval on it, it won't. Because you've asked it to skip all approvals, whatever task that you ask Claude to run, it will run start to finish without any human intervention. Right. Now, if you're running a very simple task like, hey, take this file and create a spreadsheet and, total my costs every week, you can skip the approval, right? Realistically speaking, there is no unsafe action in totaling up a bunch of numbers, right? But however,
Dhruv,
if you're to work, yeah,
Dhruv, we have less than 10 minutes, so I just wanted to
okay,
make sure we are on track. Okay.
yep, yeah. Cool. So where was that? Yeah, so as I was saying, for the permissions, you can, like I said, it's always under your control. And you can always, say how often you want these tasks to run. And you can also select which Claude model or which AI model you want, right? So that's that. If anyone has any questions, please feel free. Um, yeah, so from my end, that was, essentially the whole advanced AI presentation. Um, Yeah.
So,
Let's
yeah,
take.
Dhruv, thank you very much. This was very helpful, and I'm sure people got a lot of information, but at the same time, people also feel that they need more help, I guess. So, you know, it is a natural. I've been answering on the chat,
Mhm.
and basically, I'm telling them the free tools are available for their basic needs, and
Right,
subscription-based tools are giving them a lot more options for settings and security. And
right.
so, and
Yeah, I can
playing
speak
with
about
it.
that.
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead,
speak
please.
about
That
that
that would be
just a little
helpful.
bit. Yeah, yeah. So, you guys might not have been here the first session. If you were, in case you forgot. So, how these AI models work is that every AI out there, Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, they all have free models, okay? Which means that you can do the same tasks as a paid model version, but just at a less frequency. You might not be able to do as much, right? If with my free Claude version, right? I say, can you read these documents for me, create a summary? It might do it once or twice within my 4 hour session limit. And then I'll run out of tokens. However, if I'm paying $20 a month for Claude Pro, I'll be able to do that same task maybe 5 or 6 times, right? I might be able to have a much more in-depth task that I can ask it. Because I'm paying those $20, I have more, liberty, I have more access. That doesn't mean that you can't do the same things. It just means that you can't do it at the same level and the same like at that same depth, if that makes sense, right? You can have a very shallow version of it. And if you feel like you do need more, if you feel like, hey, I want, more in depth, like personally, I do, right? I pay the $20 a month for my premium subscription, and it's been very helpful to me in my internship, in my day-to-day life, in whatever that I need to do. I feel that my $20 every month are very worth it. And oftentimes, even after paying my $20, I'm also running out of credit sometimes. So just because you're using a free version, don't be discouraged. Don't think that you can't achieve the same things. It's just going to take a little bit longer for your end goal to come out because you're on a free model, free version.
And then one prevalent question was also about, uh, attaching the email, but then feeling that, is it a secured way to use it, or
Right.
and
Yeah,
also
yeah,
people had
of
a
course.
question about, uh, security of the data. So, I'm trying to convey that subscription model gives them, more security. Means probably settings allows them more personalized, usage. But if you can give more light on that,
Yeah.
people
Okay.
would
So let's
appreciate.
let's start with the security. So I know a lot of people might be worried about that. Whether you have a free model or whether you have a paid model or the highest tier model, your security will be the same for every user. Just
Ah,
because
okay.
someone pays $100 a month doesn't mean that they get more security on their information than you do, right? These companies will protect all of their users, right? Because that's, like they can't say that, hey, if you pay more money, I'll give you more security. That's not very valid. So your information will always be protected. It won't be used for bad things, right? But as I mentioned, your personal information, like your very private information, right? That should never be shared with any of these companies, any of these models, right? Some things are supposed to stay with us and only us, right? Now, when you guys said, hey, my email, like I'm worried that it's going to go look through all my emails. As I said the first time, if when you run these tasks, you select that ask me every time, right? Don't automatically run any task. Every single time before it runs that task, it will come and ask you, which means until you approve it, it won't go into your Gmail. It won't go and, read your emails. Now, if let's say you're a business owner and you have hundreds of client sensitive information coming into your inbox every single day, right? Would it be smart to connect Claude and give it full access to this? Probably not, right? If you are a business owner and you don't want your personal client and candidate information going out, then don't do it, right? At the end of the day, no one will force you. But if you feel like, hey, I'm getting overwhelmed with this, right? I need more help. I need these agents to automate my tasks. And if you think that, okay, the information that I have regarding the people at my company is not sensitive, right? It's basic information, and I'm okay with Claude having access to it, and I need the help. Then sure, go ahead. Connect your Gmail, connect your Google Drive, right? It's a tool to help you, right? I'm coming out here and I'm telling you guys that all these technologies are available, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable using them and you think that for your specific task, it's not going to be a good fit, you don't have to. However, if you do think so, then hey, now you know the knowledge, you have the understanding of what to do. You can go out there and you can get tasks done.
Okay.
I can only see answers it gave earlier if it's paid
Yeah.
version. That's not true.
Not true.
Uh,
Yes. I,
yeah. So I can show you guys. Cool. Okay. So let's go here. Um, this is a chat as everyone can see. Oh, am I sharing my screen? I'm not, right? Give me
not right
one
now.
second. Cool. Okay. Here we go. So this is a chat that I had. Everyone can see here on the left. It says chat and tasks. This is something that I wanted to understand more about, trading, day trading. So I gave it a website. I said, I'm looking to understand stuff regarding this, whatever, right? This was 2 days ago now, and this conversation is still here, right? I can go back and I can say, please give me more clarity on this. Um, I do understand that your question said that only premium models can get paid, and I do not have. This is a premium model, which I guess is a bad example. So let's go to ChatGPT because ChatGPT I'm not paying for. As you guys can see down here, it says free plan, right? And here, this is a question that I was asking about a computer. This is a conversation I had yesterday, and my chats are still saved here. Right. So just for that point, yeah, just because you have a free model does not mean that your chats will not be saved. Wow, where's it? Okay, are there any other questions?
So, Dhruv, it seems like uh, quite a few people have a question that, I'm new to this thing. So,
Hmm.
how we can provide what you covered and the presentation. So that way we can share this information. We can upload on our Jaina servers and we can share the link with, community at large. So they
Wait,
are able to.
can you repeat that? I don't think I understand your question.
Okay. So this presentation you made,
Hmm.
if we can get a copy of that one, so we can
Oh
upload that
yeah,
to be
of course, yeah.
make it available for the community at large.
Yeah, yeah. So the presentation that we had last time and then the one today as well, the both of them will be available. I can send that over.
Okay.
Are there any other questions in the chat?
Okay. Someone need both presentation. That's fine. We'll get those presentations out to community. We'll share the links. Let me see. We
Are
are
there any
already
questions on the YouTube?
yeah. So what I'm trying to do here is, let me see if I can unmute all. We can extend it only for 5 minutes, and then basically we would have to.
And if anyone has any questions, my contact information is in both of the slideshows. I can also leave it down here.
Mhm.
You can drop it in the chat.
Okay, I have allowed people to unmute themselves and ask question, but we have only 5 minutes more. So please have a brief question and directly have a question, please. Please go ahead. If somebody has a very important question they feel that can be addressed quickly, please go ahead, unmute yourself and ask the question.
If you could also raise your hand, we can have like an order in which people can answer. I'm not able to unmute.
Mute call card. Okay, can you? Yeah, okay.
I have a question. My name is Meeta Shah. First of all, I want to thank both of you for taking this initiative for Jain people. But our seniors are much slower in using computers. So when this presentation goes this fast, and I understand you have time limit, it is very difficult to grasp all the important points. And then again, we are scared even after we see that how you can find out what is the scam. So I don't know how we can address this question because I understand you don't have too much time to do everything. But
Right, yeah.
seniors are typically slow using computers. And when so much data gets downloaded, they get overwhelmed. Is my memory going to go away?
Right. So that's a very valid point. It's a very valid concern. Like I said before, if you do have any like, personalized private questions, like please feel free to reach out. Like, I will try my best to, answer all the questions like privately to my email, my phone number. You can call me. I do understand that we are on a time limit, so I do have to go at a certain
I
speed.
agree. Yes.
But yeah, so if you have any specific questions about like how certain things work, please feel free, not just you, everyone, to reach out, and I'll try my best to get back to you
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Yeah,
Thank you
no
so
worries.
much. Thank you so much.
And let me just ask Dhimen, are we recording this one?
Yes, and it is already available on YouTube as well.
Okay. So Meeta Ben, we will have
Yes.
recording of this session on our YouTube channel, Jaina YouTube
Okay.
channel. So some of you guys, if you feel that session went pretty fast, so you can always, return to that easy access, YouTube Jaina channel
Yeah.
and
stop
review
it
at
and
your,
listen. Stop it and
yes,
listen. Yes.
and
Thank
try
you.
it. And so you could do that. So
Thank you. Thank you.
I had a quick question. How would you compare this to ChatGPT? In the sense, I know this does more thinking for you, but I thought ChatGPT did the in-depth for me as well.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Ever since these AIs came out, I personally have had very good experience with Claude, right? And I'm not saying that one AI can offer you more than the other, right? But the way that it works is it just comes down to personal preference, right?
Right.
So I was a technical like person, right? Like for, coding, computer science, and Claude came out with something called Claude Code, which was a technology that made it a lot easier to code. So I think one of the biggest reasons that I stuck with Claude was because I was, open to that technology and it was working for me, right? It was good for me. So I stuck with Claude and I got to learn it better than the other, right?
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
ChatGPT obviously can probably do everything that Claude can do, but just for the sake of the demonstration, I wanted to demonstrate with something that I was comfortable with.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yep, no worries.
okay. So
Hi, good morning.
last question. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So, Dhruv, you just mentioned in the cloud about the chart and co-work. So when I
Mhm.
click on co-work, it's asking me to upgrade my account and it's asking me $17 a month or that thing. So I believe it's only available if we buy the program, correct? Means pay extra money.
Yes.
It's not the free
Yes.
version.
Right. But that doesn't mean that you can't connect to all the stuff online. Like if on your chat, you can still have custom connectors and all that. For the sake of Cowork and Claude Code, like I mentioned, those technologies are paid.
I'm sorry, for chart it's paid, but how about the co-work? Co-work, there is a charge for
I
that,
Yeah, yes.
correct?
Yep.
Okay. Only the free version is the chart. That's what I see.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dhruv, and thank you to our Jain community. We will continue to do this kind of sessions, which helps our senior, community as a part of a senior services committee of Jaina. We will keep on bringing this kind of session, which are going to be useful for our community. And if
Yeah.
you have any feedback, please send us that feedback. We have multiple platforms available for the feedback, and also we will share this information, recording and presentation to our community in proper channels. Thank
Okay.
you,
Thank
Jai
you.
Jinendra. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone. Jai Jinendra.
Thank you, Jai Jinendra.
Okay, I'm ending this meeting for. Thank you.